Talk Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the National Intel Report. I'm your host, John Statmiller. It is Tuesday, 25th November 08. And if it's Tuesday and you're here, it's Bob Chapman and Robbie Noel joining me today. The Three Amigos. We'll be talking about a lot of different things, folks. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely, positively insane. I'm going to read a list of 20, and I'm sure my learned guest today can come up with a little bit more here. 20 indicators that could lead us ever downward. This was put together by Paul Farrow, who called the dot-com crash. And many experts didn't see it coming. Folks, I just want to remind you of one thing before we start this program today. Now, do you understand why I got off the 9/11 kick? I saw this thing coming. I saw it coming. And I saw it coming. And what you're witnessing right now is the destruction of this nation's economy. I mean, there is no two ways about it. Planned? Of course it was. And 9/11 was a small part to try to shock the conscience of America into making them believe that Osama bin Laden was hiding in your bedroom closet of your kid's room, and that we had to take these extraordinary measures to make sure that everybody was safe. That was a small part of it. The police state has been coming. The tyrants have been working overtime for a very, very long time. And I took a little bit of heat from people going, but 9/11 woke me up. Well, whatever woke you up, whether you fell down the stairs, had an epiphany, and all of a sudden you were able to see and able to hear, whatever it was that woke you up. But I just want to point this out. Long before anybody else, everybody was still on their 9/11 kick. I saw the takeover by the globalists of this country. I've been on the cutting edge of letting you fine folks out there know the dangers that I see and the perils that we face. And this is the coup d'etat. This is the November 22nd, 1963 assassination of a president. This is the assassination of a country, of an entire country. They got it over in Iceland. They used to have a pretty good standard of living, one of the best in the world. Well, they're kicking down police station doors now, asking for the resignation of their political thieves over there in conjunction with the banks. Their currency's lost half its value. The shelves are bare over there, and they're hopping mad. They've gotten their taste of the globalists, their new world order, and the international bankster gangsters.
Yeah, well, I mean, the confiscation issue is a very confusing issue. I mean, the bottom line is, under the War Powers Act, the presiding president has the power to seize not only gold and silver. He can seize your bank account, he can seize your car, he can seize your brokerage accounts. The problem that they would have this time around, they know it, compliance would be 0%. They would have to set, could you set an official gold price based on currency that's in circulation? Well, sure, I suppose, there's some people that have done the calculations and said the official gold price would have to be set at somewhere south of $35,000 an ounce. Is that possible? I have no idea.
The government's going to set it as low as they conceivably can. And it's a consolidation period, which is part of the growth going into the New World Order. And the same thing will happen with insurance companies, utilities, and also corporations, so that we don't have 65 competitors making a product. We've got 3 or 4. And you're seeing that in the steel industry now. They're starting to lay off. And so you'll see great consolidation. It's all part of what is called corporate fascism. And maybe it'll evolve into the European kind of socialism. We don't know. But it doesn't really make a lot of difference. Labels are sometimes very inaccurate. But the important thing is that we're going to lose our ability to have choices, and a consolidation of power in the federal government will go greater and greater, and more of our freedoms will be taken away from us, and we could end up like Iceland. Well, I think the fall in the price of commodities in stock market, precious metals in part, was due to the deleveraging that went on within the hedge fund business as well as in banking and the brokerage firms.
Yeah.
So Mr. Williams projected that oil would go down to $50. Do you remember the reasons why he said that?
No. He
I do.
What he mainly said
well,
was
I do.
Yeah.
He said that there were two new fields coming on that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
Oil fields. One was in the Arctic in Russia,
Yeah.
and the other was off Indonesia.
Yeah.
These are both known, we'll call them ore bodies or oil locations.
Yeah.
And yes, he was right about that. These people who were secretly giving him this information. And what he failed to tell you is that their existence would not affect the oil market for between 7 and 9 years from now. And so they were not a viable reason for oil to have come down, among other things. The reasons for all those other things in oil to have come down was deleveraging, which I've just explained.
Yes, there was a gun show in Portland this last weekend, and they say the lines are out into the streets. People buying everything they get their hands on.
Well, did you happen to hear on yesterday's program I was talking about the identifiers are going to be the manufacturers are going to be forced to put identifiers on each and every bullet that they sell, and there's going to be a 0.5 cent tax, and this is legislation that they're putting out to all states. About 20 are on board right now, considering the legislation, which means that all you people out there that think that you're going to be reloading and doing all this other stuff, there's not going to be any of that stuff available. You're going to have to buy it through official channels, and everything will be tracked and traced.
Or aluminous. And they figure that will take them out another 2 years, maybe a little bit more. And that means we got hyperinflation, and it means we got a minimum of $3,000 gold. So bring on the special.
Even Peter Schiff is now saying that, hey, in short order, you're going to see gold hit $2,000 next year. Yeah, he is on record as saying, he said when asked the question, well, where do you see, because they were fishing here, they wanted to put a cap on this gold, and well, where do you see gold topping out at? He goes, hell, I don't know. He said it could be as much as $7,000 an ounce.